everybody. Today, you
Good
right?
morning, teacher.
Okay, let's continue with our book. Yesterday we were revising a reading, and this reading was a story, and the story has different tenses: past simple, past continuous, and the new tense, past perfect. Yeah, past perfect, ¿no? Quedó pendiente, así que vamos a escucharlo de nuevo. We're going to hear again this exercise in the 2 pages. Put the correct phrase in the text, in this story of the miserable man. Okay?
9.2 The Story of Moolah and the Miserable Man.
A wise old man called Moolah was walking along the road through the woods when he saw a man walking towards him. The man was carrying a dirty old sack. He looked very unhappy, and when Moolah asked him why, the man told him his story. He was all alone because his wife had left him, and he was also poor and homeless because he had lost his job and his house. "Everything I own is in this old sack," he said. "My life is miserable." And he walked off. After the man had gone a few yards, Moolah ran past him, took his sack, and ran into the woods. The man was afraid to follow. He had heard it was easy to get lost in these woods. "Now my life is even more miserable," he said, and he sat down and cried. Meanwhile, further down the road, Moolah came out of the woods and put the man's sack in the middle of the road. Finally, when he had stopped crying, the man set off again, walking slowly and sadly. Suddenly, he saw his sack. "My sack!" he shouted. He picked it up. Everything was still inside it. He was overjoyed and walked happily on towards the city, singing as he went. "Well," said Moolah, "that's one way to make someone happy." The moral of the story is, appreciate what you have, however little.
Yeah, however little, appreciate whatever you have. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to hear the text. Number one, he was all alone. Number one, it goes with which one?
Number 2.
Yeah, number two, because his wife had left him. Yeah, because his wife had left him. Yeah. Number two, he was also poor and homeless. The sentence is
Number 4.
Because he had lost his job.
yes, correct. He had lost his job and his house. Everything I own is in this old sack. My life is miserable. Number three.
Number 1.
After he had gone a few yards, Mila ran past him, took his hat, and ran into the woods. Okay, the man was afraid to follow. Which sentence?
Number 5.
He had heard it was easy to get lost in these woods. Yeah. Meanwhile, he put the man's sack in the middle of the road. Finally,
Number 3.
He had stopped crying.
he had stopped crying. The man set off again. Yeah, that is it. The correct answer. Okay. Viendo aquí la correcta. Aquí está. Here. Because his wife had left him, because he had lost his house and job. After the man had gone up the yard, he hadn't heard it was easy to get lost, and he had stopped crying. Yep, that was it. Okay, so we have a new structure, guys. A new structure. The new structure, it is past perfect, more or less similar to present perfect, but in past, obviously, no? So look at this sentence. The man was carrying a sack. He told Mula his story. He had lost his job, no? All right. Let me open Word, uh, a Word document so I can explain much better. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Yes, I already have one explanation. It's open. It's a little bit slow, my computer. I'm so sorry for that. It's a Mac, but it's an old Mac. Okay, este documento, I'm going to share this document. Okay, past perfect. This document, I'm going to share it with you. Yeah. Okay, what is past perfect? Well, first of all, it's a different past from the others. Past perfect is when an action happened before, before, before another at a certain point in the past. So sometimes, most of the time, we have two different past sentences. Yeah. And I'm going to give you this example. When my wife arrived, yeah, that happened. Yeah. No. And then I decided to write something else. I had done the washing up. So this is past perfect, the first action that happened before another. It is that. The first action and then the second action. Yeah. Or another example, we had gone shopping before you came back home. It is the first action, and came back, past simple, is the second action, right? So that's why it's an action that happened before another. Normally, it is combined with past simple or with past continuous as well, like the text.
Profe,
Yeah,
o sea, básicamente en este no se menciona el tiempo, ¿no?
yeah.
Como el past
Bueno,
simple, que dices yesterday o así.
ya podría ser mm, more or less, ¿no? Tenemos preposición como before, after, que nos señalan más o se identifican más con el pasado participio, ¿ya? Before y
Ok.
after. Okay, it's not the same as past continuous. For example, Fernando was paying attention to the teacher. This is past continuous. This is different. Yeah. Let's do another example. What can you say? I was walking in the street when I saw an accident. An accident, right? A car had crashed into an electricity post. Yeah. Here I am combining the three tenses. So I was walking down the street. It is past, past continuous. I saw
Past simple.
Past simple. And finally, I wasn't in that moment, but a car crash. There was a car crash, no? A car had crashed into an electricity post, yeah, and the person died. So sorry. Hacerlo un poco más gramático. So, which of these sentences happened first? ¿Cuál pasó primero?
He was walking. No.
De todas estas oraciones, from all of these sentences, which happened first? This is that happened first. First action. Then we have the second. And finally, the third action. Yep. So let's make a line here. Draw you much better. So this is the past time, right? This is past. Past time. So the first action that happened, it was the accident. Yeah? The car crash. Meanwhile, I was walking. Yeah, I was walking, so this is the second action. And finally, the third action would be I saw an accident, and which is this one. Do I explain myself? Do I explain myself? Sorry. With my drawings. So me, it was me. It is me. I was walking, I saw the accident, but a car crash happened before. Yeah. Do you understand or you don't understand at all?
Yes.
Sí, profe, se entiende.
Perfect. It's much better when it's drawings or in this past time line, no? It's past time line. This is past perfect, this is past continuous, and finally it comes the past simple. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm going to draw everything. And how's the structure? Well, the structure, we need a subject, we need hats, no have, it has to be had, or negative hadn't, and the past participle, the past participle verb. ¿Cuál es el pasado participio de crash? Crashed, yeah. ¿vale? Hay algunos que sí cambian, por ejemplo, el pasado de go, el pasado participio de go va a ser gone. I had gone. When my wife arrived, I had done the washing up. So what happened? That I started washing my clothes. Then after my wife entered to my house, and oh yeah, I done the washing up. Yeah, all my clothes, all the clothes for everybody are clean. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So don't forget. Se los voy a pasar. I am going to share this for you. We continue with the book, ¿no? Aquí el grammar reference les dice, les pone más ejemplos, ¿ya? Past perfect, the past participle of regular verbs ends in ed. There are many common irregular verbs, ¿ya? I'd arrived, I hadn't arrived. También pueden usar el apóstrofo, apostrophe T, que luego nos confundimos, ¿no? Con el would like, ¿no? But it's not would like, it is, o no es would, va a ser had. ¿Ya? Question, had I left already? Intercambiamos, el auxiliar siempre va a ir en primer lugar. Bueno, primero WH question. Let me put this here. Let me right here. WH question. WH question. Had. After the subject, I, he, she, it, we, they, the verb in past participle, and the complement. No? Sure answer, yes, I had. No, they hadn't. ¿Vale? We use past perfect to express an action in the past which happened before an action in the past. Yeah. When I arrived to the theater, the play had already started. No? So imagine that you and your friend went to the theater, right? And you arrived to the theater and the show, the play, the show had already started. So maybe you lost 5 or 10 minutes because you arrived late. Yeah, that is the past perfect. The show or the play had already started. What happened first? The show began, and after you arrived. Yeah. We use the past simple to express an action in order that happened. No? You can also say past simple only, but sometimes it is like boring because now we are in pre-intermediate and we need to give more details. We need to give more details to the stories, to what we say, what we tell to our friends, right? The bear went, the man came down the tree, John left the party, I arrived, they walked along a long way, they were tired. No? But you can put it, if something happened before, then you can use past perfect. No? For example, the man, and make it more interesting. You can make it more interesting, the story. Yeah, that's why the stories are like that, or the books are like that, because it gives you extra details. For example, the man came down the tree after the bird had gone. Yeah, after the bird had gone. Yeah. Ahí es el punto, Jason, here. We use after, before, because. No necesariamente las expresiones como last year, last time, yesterday, porque son completed actions, ¿no? Son como que only the sentences like that, in past simple, yeah? Here, normally it goes with 2 sentences, yeah? The past simple sentence and then the past perfect, or vice versa. First the past perfect and then the past simple, all right? Another example, when I arrived to the party, John had left, no? My friend had left. So sorry, yeah. They were tired because they walked a long way. So why were they tired? Because they had walked a long way. If it's clear that one action was completed before, it isn't necessary to use the past perfect. For example, I tidied up, I cleaned my house after everyone went home, or I tidied up after everyone had gone home. Here it is tricky. Aquí es un poco tricky porque luego nos confundimos. In the first pair of sentences, primero que hiciste, primero pasó, first action, everyone went home after you tidy is cleaner, clean your house. Here, first sentence. Oh, it's the same, so sorry. Perdón, no los voy a confundir. It's the same, ¿no? Es el punto que quiere tener el libro. If it's clear one action was completed for, it isn't necessary to use perfect continuous, ¿no? So everyone went home after you cleaned your house. Lo mismo pasa en la siguiente oración, ¿no? Aquí no hay diferencia, ¿ya? Solamente son unas cuantas, depending on the context, then you can use. It's much better to use past perfect, but it's okay to use the past simple, yeah, sentences. It's up to you. Yeah? If you want to make your sentences fancier or more interesting, then you can use past perfect. I study up after everyone had gone home. Yeah.
Como que das más detalles, ¿no, profe?
Yeah,
el-
it gives you you give more details, and it's better, no? It's much better. It's for example, native speakers they use the second. They would use the second, ¿no? Los nativos usarían la segunda, ¿no? Para explicar. I tidy up after everyone had left. Pero está bien si ustedes dicen I tidy up after everyone went home. Okay. Vale. We go back to the page. We go back to the page. A ver, vamos a saltarnos esta actividad. Number one, también vamos a saltarnos. Exercise number two. Please. Match the line A with line B. The first one, I got a fabulous view of the Alps, the mountains, you know, the popular mountains in Europe, the Alps. We're going to match. Les ayudo con la primera. I got a fabulous view of the Alps. Here it is letter D, as we were flying over them. Them se está refiriendo a los Alpes, Alpes. Yeah. So number one, letter D. Me dejo ponerlo. I can't do it, but is number one, letter D. Okay. Do the rest, please. Do the rest, match the sentences. Yes.
No, nada. Lo debemos terminar, ¿verdad? Ok.
Number two, number three. We go with B, C, D, B, C, E, F. Ya les dije la primera. Number one, letter D.
Listo.
Okay. Let's see if you were correct.
9.5. 1,
I got a fabulous view of the Alps as we were flying over them.
2,
I felt tired all day yesterday because I hadn't slept much the night before.
3,
Just as I was falling asleep, the neighbour's dog started barking.
4,
Tom's new girlfriend seemed familiar. I was sure I'd seen her somewhere before.
5,
I was nervous before the flight because I'd never flown before.
6,
My brother rang me while I was out shopping.
All right, any questions about vocabulary? Words, expressions that you don't understand, guys?
Yes. And number 4. Say me.
Sim. Sim familiar. Me pareció familiar. ¿No? Sim familiar. So number 2. Letter. Which letter? A, B,
A.
A. A?
Oh, E.
E. E. No, A, E. Number 3.
F. F.
F. Exactly. 3, F. 4,
C. C.
C. 4, C. I'm sure I see her because estamos hablando de su girlfriend. I've seen her. Number 5,
A.
A. And finally 6, my brother rang me.
B.
B.
Wow, I was talking. Yep, don't forget. Okay, so here we have discussion, grammar discussion. We have several sentences. Yeah, let's focus. Let's do it together, ¿vale? Vamos a leerlas juntos. Number 1, Jason, can you read the first, please? When I arrived,
When I arrived, she cooked dinner. She was cooking dinner. She cooked dinner.
cooked, cooked.
Cooked.
So the same here is the main sentence when I arrived, right? Then she cooked dinner, she was cooking, and she cooked dinner. So what is the difference? The first one, when I arrived, the moment I enter my house, my mom cooked dinner. So first y second action. Primero pasó, I arrived, I entered the house, then the second. When I arrived, she was cooking dinner. So the moment I arrived, she was preparing dinner. The moment I arrived, she was preparing dinner, and she hasn't finished, or she hadn't finished in that moment. Todavía no había terminado. She was cooking dinner. Yeah, it was an ongoing activity. When I arrived, she cooked dinner. So first action, she already finished cooking, and after I arrived. Después llegué yo. Dinner is ready. Dinner is ready for you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Do you understand?
Sí, profe.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to the second one. Roxana, he spoke.
He spoke good French because he was living in France. He had lived in France.
Had lived in France.
Lived in France.
So this had lived in France happened before and after, well, you know, he was speaking French fluently. Yeah. And the second, while she was living in France, she spoke French. She was speaking, she was learning French. Yeah. While she was living in France, she he was speaking French, he was learning French. No? That's the main difference. Number three, Valeria.
I listen to music while I did my homework. When I done my homework.
Mhm. One of these sentences happened simultaneously. One of these sentences happened simultaneously at the same time. Which one? ¿Cuál? Pasó simultaneously.
When I done my work, my homework.
At the same time?
Yes.
Hacer la tarea y escuchar la música.
No.
Yo estaba escuchando música cuando yo hice mi tarea.
Mientras.
No.
When I did my homework.
Sería la primera, ¿no, teacher?
Is this,
While
is the
I
first
did
one.
my
While
homework,
I
cuando
did my
terminé.
homework, mhm, I listen to music. Yeah. Simultaneously. Yeah.
Estaba escuchando música cuando yo terminé mi tarea.
Huh? Yes, exactly.
Entonces es la primera.
Yes, the first one. And the second, you finish homework and after you listen to music. First, you finish homework and then listen to music. Carolina, number 4, please. She gave me a book.
She gave me a book and I read it, but I didn't read it.
But I already read. In these sentences, one is before, another after. One is before, the other after. Which one is which? One is before and the other is after.
But I read it.
¿Esa qué es? Before or after?
Before, teacher?
Yes, correct. Before, I have read that book, ya lo había leído. And the other, obviously, is
After.
after. That means that when she gave me the book, I started reading the book. Yeah. Apenas lo empecé cuando me lo dio. Yeah, after I read the book. Next, finally, Mayra, when I got home.
When I got home, the children were going to bed. When I got home, the children had gone to bed. Is the second, teacher. The children had gone to bed.
Ah, no, las dos son correctas. Both are correct.
Ah, sí?
Yeah, both are correct. Nada más estamos diferenciando the meaning.
Ah, okay.
In one of the sentence, the children were sleeping. In one of the sentence, the children were sleeping. ¿En cuál? ¿Ya estaban durmiendo? The first or the second?
Children had gone to bed.
Yes.
The
correct.
second, teacher.
The second, ya estaban durmiendo. They were sleeping here. Y aquí, not yet, todavía no. They were going, yeah? They were about to go to bed. Vale? So that's the main difference between these tenses, guys. With more practice, We will do next week. Yes, so please, important to come next week. We're going to do more practice about past perfect, ¿vale? Les voy a pasar una copia el lunes, que no falten el lunes. No homework, solamente, únicamente por esta fin de semana, no homework, ¿vale?
Teacher.
Thank you.
Trabajemos y finalicemos ya. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.